Peace, peace, my peaceful people. What's good? It's your brother man say I knew. Yeah. So how are we doing on this last week of Heru cycle? Have we been doing our meditations? Have we been being purposeful about our lives? You know, that's the question that Heru's gonna ask you. He told me to speak about the Onkin Ma'at, right? The Onkin Ma'at of the deity, right? So the Onkin Ma'at of Heru, right? The Onkin Ma'at literally translates to the living of truth of the deity, right? So each, sphere on the tree of life, each deity, right? Each netter, right? Each archangel, right? Has a way of being, right? A way to live, right? A way that it goes, a truth, a certain truth that it, embodies, right? So, I spoke before about, living by cycle, living according to the cycles. Well, being the cycle of Heru, this is the time to focus on the truth of your being that deals with your will, right? People are confused. People say, what do you mean will? Is that like desires, right? Is will and what you desire the same thing, right? You see these depictions of kings, having people at their whim, right? Doing whatever they need them to do, whatever they want them to do, right? It's the king's will to do this, or the king's desire, or whatever, it's will and desire is those are different concepts, Desire has to do more with the wants of an individual, right? That come from, various places, but mostly from, the lesser substantial places within the individual, right? You desire, some good tasting food, right? You desire some, entertainment, right? You desire some, lustful event, you desire some, thing to smoke or something to drink or something to this or to that, Whereas, when we're speaking about what must be willed is the necessities of the individual or the group, right? When you focus your will, it's usually towards things that aren't so pleasant, aren't such things that you really desire so much, but things that, you must do, right? Like your responsibilities, right? Your responsibility to self, do spiritual work, right? How many of us are attending to our spiritual work, right? That's something that we don't really deal with too much. You know what I mean? We don't deal with that. The spiritual work. We're supposed to be actually, doing things to cultivate this being. We got things in here that need cultivation in order to, to exist as, something substantial within us, right? We nourish all the time those, low things that we don't need. Like, you come home, you turn on the YouTube, you turn on the TV, whatever it is, for your entertainment, you know what I mean? You get your smoke religiously, right? You know what I mean? You get your drinks religiously, But what do you do religiously, right? Remember we talked about, how we gave up religion. We don't give up religion, right? But what is religion? Again, what is religion? Think about that, right? Before we toss religion, you break down, Shechem did it. He broke down the word religion, right? When you take the re, right, and add it to liger, right? When you look up the etymology of the word religion, re means to go back, right? And liger means to tie, right? So it's is about retying, right? Retying what? Retying an individual to something that he was previously connected to. You know what I mean? So the religion, right? A correct religion, right, is something, a set of practices, a set of mind state that reties you into something which you were originally, right? And we understand, again, we take the ancient Cometians as the example because they were the ones that did it the best. They were able to sync the left and right hemispheres of the brain. That's called doing it the best. Because all of us, after that point are either left-brained or we're right-brained predominant in terms of societies, in terms of what societies are producing, right? Different groups of people, we have yet to see a society that has accurately, effectively linked the left and right hemispheres of the brain, but the Comedians did it, right? And they said that man is God. They said that man was born from God. You know what I mean? That's what we learned from them, and, they gave us examples. They gave us ways that we can go and prove that to ourselves, right? We can, there's different techniques. You go deep in meditation and you'll meet God. You know what I mean? I'm saying that because it's fact. I'm not saying something that I told you. Something that I learned, through reading some book. I'm saying that's something that I proved myself. So religion is about retying yourself to that which you were originally. So again, before we throw out the baby with the bathwater, right? Yeah, there's problems with religions these days. There's problems with what they told you. Yeah. You've been learning from colonizers, okay? You know what I mean? The minute you can accept that thought and not feel bad about it, we've all been did it. You know what I mean? The thing is to now feel good. You got some new information. Feel good about that. Feel good about the fact that you got some new information and work with. You know what I mean? You still need religion as a human being. You know what I mean? As a human being that needs, affirmations, right? That's that word I was going for last week, right? That word, that concept of, putting things inside of your spirit on repetition, right? You need weekly meditation, okay? Not weekly. You need daily meditation to control this beast, right? That part of you that moves without trying, you know what I mean? That needs to be tamed. It's an animal, right? The part of you that feels, you know what I mean? Pretty woman was in this room right now. She started doing this. I would have to go in order to keep it together. You know what I'm saying? You too, right? You know what I'm saying? And that's on your TV screen. That's on your YouTube phone, right? That's everywhere, okay? That's in your mind without that. So you need, just like I need, to cultivate this thing such that that animal don't control us. And if you don't, then you just don't get that control, But that's what this cycle is about. That's why we live in accord with the cycle. Heru is the cycle. So it's the time to focus on doing willful events, doing things that will benefit you, edify you, versus titillate you, gratify you. You know what I'm saying? Did you have your cold shower today? Yeah, man, get some of that spark in your life. You know what I mean? It does something different. I'm telling you. It does something different. You know what I'm saying? I think that, all MMA fighters, boxers, y'all need to jump in the cold, ice cold shower before you jump in that ring. Before you jump in that octagon. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're going to turn on something else up in there. All right. And y'all used to it. I know these guys are used to it. You know what I mean? They come, after the workout and they throw the ice in the bucket and they sit in there and they get their muscles back together and things like that. But do it before. I'm telling you, something about that. You do it before. I'm telling you. Look, just mark my word down and do it and see what happens. Come back and comment about that. You know what I mean? Y'all that's checking me out. Right? I know a couple of y'all checking me out. But anyway, purposeful. You know what I mean? Being on purpose versus just willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? Being just willy-nilly out here, yeah. Have we been on purpose this week? Have you been, dealing with yourself, right? Dealing with yourself, This is the time to do it, man. Deal with yourself. Deal with those things that are going to make you stronger, that are going to make you, more purposeful, more about your will, You know what I mean? Versus, again, just flowing, right? You know what I mean? You know, when this other man came to you with no real purpose but sought your subjugation, did you check him? Did you check him? All right, yeah, this is the time for that. This is the time to not be on sleep. You know, you're usually easy going, you're usually flowy. No, this is not the time for that. You know, now it's time to check that which comes to invade your peace, that comes to invade your person. You know, you check that. You know, when did you check that thought that said to go do that thing that you know you're supposed to not do, right? You know, your heart is, you got heart problems, right? You know what I mean? But, now you got that big juicy steak, you know what I mean, in front of you that's going, mess with your hypertension, etc., right? Did you just gobble it up because somebody put it in front of your face? You know what I mean? Because you was so wanting it, you was thinking about it all day, or whatever the case may be. You was thinking about that cheesesteak, or whatever the case may be. You was thinking about that thing to throw inside your body for gratification, versus your knowledge that it's going to mess up your health. You know what I'm saying? What did you do at that moment? You know? Did you opt for a salad? Or did you just rock with what your animal was telling you? You know what I'm saying? Did you rock with your animal, is what I'm asking you? Or did you rock with your Heru? You know? Yeah, man. Deal with it. You know what I mean? It's time to replace religion with spirituality, right? Spirituality means attending to those parts of you that make up your spirit. You know what I mean? And hey, my job is easy. You know what I mean? I don't have to recreate the wheel. I thought I did. Back when I was 20, back when I was 19, 20, I said, yeah, I'm gonna write the book that shows the connection between the various religions. Because see, that's where the truth is. I knew that back then. I knew that where the different religions link up and show you how they are synonymous, that's where the truth is, right? I remember I was saying that to, a good friend of mine, we rapping, da 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 da. He said, yo, okay, well, they already did that. I said, what? They already did that? Who did that? Pulled out the Meduna tear. Like, pulled out this, you know what I'm saying? Gave it to me, said, check that out. You know what I mean? I read it for a couple of months before I gave it back to him. But this book changed my life. You know what I mean? Because it shows definitely where the different religions link up. You know what I mean? It shows, how, that's just one thing that it does, but it really goes into the understanding of the anatomy of man and God, of God and man. The anatomy, what's in here as above, so below, right, is out there. You know what I mean? What the spirit that makes up God, right? The different aspects of God, right? Who they talking about in the Bible when they speak of we did so and so, we did so and so, we made man this and that. You know what I mean? They're speaking about the various aspects, right? It's not one individual speaking right then. You know what I'm saying? That's talking about the various, you know what I mean? So there's more than one God. Period. There's, but let me pull it back, right? Because people gonna do like this to me. Don't hit me with that one, right? You know what I mean? Let me clarify, right? There's one God with many different parts, just like there's one you with many different parts. You can get a great clue about what's upstairs by examining what's down here. You know what I mean? We ain't gotta, do nothing extra. So yeah, I was just saying that to say I don't have to reinvent the wheel. That stuff is there. I just gotta remind you about it. You know what I'm saying? That's my job. My job is to remind you that there is wisdom out there on the table that you need to be dealing with if you are looking to be about the truth. You know what I'm saying? If you understand, that it's not about just walking out here existing in darkness. You know what I mean? But, people do it all the time. You know what I mean? I think darkness, helps people to deal with their emotions, their conditionings, their sensual stuff, right? Sometimes people don't want to work. But that's what we came here to do. So, I mean, if you exist in the mentality of, oh, I just want to relax through life, I don't need to, then most likely you're somebody who can't be trusted because you're not going to apply your will when you should. I've seen that example. You know, people who don't want to do no work, you know, well, the first work is this. This thing right here is the first work. You know what I mean? You got to chisel this thing into effect. And I don't mean exercise. Yeah, you know, that's part of it. But that's not all I mean. I mean exercising the aspects of the spirit. You know what I mean? Being able to touch, you know, to use the various aspects of the spirit. You know what I mean? And right now, you know, it's about, you know, the will, right? It's right now the will is put in you to guide everything else. You know what I mean? The will is yours such that you will have direction in life. You know what I mean? So, because again, we talking about animals, right? Yeshua said, get ye behind me, right? Who's he talking about? He's talking about them animals that's in here, in this physical body, right? When they start touching you and you feel all googly. You know what I'm saying? He talking about that stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or when you start thinking about it, right? And you get all googly. Yeah. That's a movement that needs to be controlled. You know what I mean? But if you don't have no control over the will, you won't do it. You know what I mean? It won't even be important to you. You know, and you'll exist as one of these people who just exist. You know what I mean? Not purposeful, just out here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's some people's destiny. They won't get it this lifetime. You know what I'm saying? I came here for self-mastery, so, you know, I guess that's why y'all rock with me. You know what I'm saying? Whoever rocking with me, yeah, and that's probably why so little people rock with me. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we try to do something real out here with the spirit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's okay. It's okay. Those who come are supposed to come. Those who are not, you know, y'all not supposed to be here. You know, and that's all good. You know what I mean? I got word that somebody was, you know, bitching about my red. You know what I mean? They said, oh, yeah, he wear red. They say he got all this red going on. You know, what's up with him? I said, okay, all right, that's what your hang up is. You don't like the color red, my friend. You need more education. You need more education. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I ain't gonna go in too deep, you know what I mean? But you need to re-educate yourself on the colors, the various colors and what they represent, and you know why they exist. You understand something a little bit more than what you do right now. That's all. Yeah, man. But yeah, all right. You know me, I get the rambling. You know what I mean. I got a setback IO, so you know y'all gotta mind me. That's my disclaimer. You know what I'm saying. So let us talk to God. So we came here to talk to God. It's Tehuti. Saanuaqa seo giftaf. Korapayna ba. In Aris or Sabau. Herupu and Hetem to Keftanu Nebeche. Korapayan se hadi jerim gejeritu. It's that. Tafnateta and Tehuti. Do I haven't done it here? Paibanitu. Ebanitu. It's Latin. I'm going to spirits of the Ikin, the Bagua. Chien. Kun. Chen. Sun. Li. Ka. Tui. Ken. Dwa. Dao. And it's Latin. Honorable spirits of the tarot, the major arcana, the minor arcana, Dwau, to the air, for the fire, for the earth, and for the water, for my Shepsu, my guides, to make it clear for me. Dwanete, Dwau. For that which governs the astrology, to come and give clear messages, make it clear for our understanding. I open up the way that you may communicate with us clearly. Dwanete. All right. Okay. First card out is Ma'at Tem Ma'at. Ma'at Tem Ma'at. Oh, Dark Deceased Tem Ma'at. Okay, so the energy is sinking. There's something that is sinking about this energy in the collective. Right? Because now we got Ma'at Tem on the table and Dark Deceased Tem on the table. Yeah, we know about that Dark Deceased a little bit. I can tell you a little bit about that Dark Deceased. We're going to talk about it. Yeah, that's a bothersome reading. Already my person is a little bit bothered. All right, we have Ma'at. Tem Ma'at. It's all the way Ma'at. Tem. I should say all the way Tem Ma'at. Dark Deceased. All right, well, we try not to deal in terms of good reading and bad reading, right? But this is not a reading I ever want to see. This is nasty. I don't like my person. Nah, I don't like that. Ma'at Tem Ma'at, Dark Deceased Tem Ma'at. Okay. So, well, you know, on the table, Natera is speaking, saying that we're not living the truth. You know, some of us out here are not living the truth, not being true. You know what I mean? Yeah, Ma'at is the truth. Ma'at is balance. Ma'at is the law. Ma'at is love. You know? And Ma'at is Tem in the end of Heru's cycle. You know? You know what I mean? Not only that, but Dark Deceased is out here. Right? So, you know, this tells me, this reading again, you know what I mean? I hate to always have to go back to this spell workers and woogly, right? But this is it. This is definitely that. You have people out here who are, you know, perhaps professing to be of Ma'at, but are not. Professing to be of aid and helping people, you know, giving to people, you know what I mean? Giving of themselves, involved in upright behavior, but they are not, because this Dark Deceased basically says that you're doing something dark, and if you were to die today, you would just exist as a dark entity. You'd be a Dark Deceased. You'd be a trapped soul, a soul that is trapped in your low with nature. Yeah, you know, hey, I'm gonna tell you, look, I look at this reading, but I still feel great. I still feel like Heru. You know, I've been getting, you know, confirmations, you know, all week. I keep seeing this hawk around my job when I come out of work. You know what I mean? I know before Heru cycle, matter of fact, before last Saturday, full moon, right? Before last Saturday morning, I never saw this hawk, right? But I comes out, me and my homie, we come out, you know what I mean, from work, and right there, flying right across us, being a hawk, big beautiful bird, you know what I mean? And he flew around and he came almost like it was like, look, and he like kind of, you know how the wind blows, and he kind of just stood in the middle of the wind and let himself float right there. I said, I said, why the chair? You know what I mean? Because I knew what that was. You know what I mean? I've been on Uncle Ma'at. You know what I'm saying? So I know this reading ain't talking about me. Not only that, but then 2 times after that this week, twice that, I don't know if it was that hawk or if there's, you know what I mean, if there's some hawk nest in the area, you know, whatever. I know I ain't seen it before last Saturday, full moon. Right? But yeah, I came out of work the next time, you know what I mean? I was basically, you know, waiting for a ride. You know what I mean, with other folks, and there he is. Came over, you know, he did the same thing. He didn't come over me at this time. This time he kind of like was out maybe 30 or so feet, and he did the hover thing again. Like, you know, I said, whoa, that's Heru talking to me. Yeah, now some of y'all know I've been wearing red. I've been on mines, right? I've been on mines, right? I've been zapping my conditionings. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know, I've been living the truth, you know. So I know I'm talking to people, not necessarily to myself with this one. You know what I mean? And the first thing I'm hearing is, you know, yeah, you got spell workers. You got people who are doing black magic in the background. Likely people who are professing to be of the light are doing black magic in the background. You know, there's people who don't want to see certain people progress. You know what I mean? And they're doing little funny stuff, thinking that they can affect these individuals when, you know what I mean, the gods are here. You know, some of y'all are kind of dumb. I'm going to say that right now. I'm going to say that straight up. Y'all are stupid. You know why? Because if you look at how things have been going in my life, right? Some of y'all, you know, this is like TV. Y'all been checking me out, right? But if y'all look, you know what I mean, you be able to tell that, you know, there's people doing stuff. There's been people doing woogly in the background. I told y'all before in my Dark Deceased video. First time I ever pulled Dark Deceased for the year was 2002. Yeah. And, you know, if y'all notice, you know, y'all been doing woogly trying to weaken me, you know what I mean? But I've been getting stronger. You know what I mean? So I would say if you still doing woogly and you see what's coming from me, but you still attempting to do woogly, you're stupid. You know what I mean? And that's for any, you know, that's my story, all right? Right? That's for my story. And yeah, I have to speak my story because my story is part of this. You know, when I come out here and we, you know, we talking it all out, you know, I am part of the collective. So, you know, but I know, you know, this right here is not talking about my walk, right? This is talking about some background-ish that's in the background. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. Again, I told y'all last week, you know what I mean? Because I know that a lot of y'all who are watching me are the woogliers. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm gonna go to Webster at some point. You know what I'm saying? Probably some Sebex cycle. I'm gonna go to Webster and we're gonna get that word in the book. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all been doing woogly. You know what I'm saying? At the various cycles in the moon. You know, attempting to affect something, you know, for me or against me or for the collective, you know what I mean? Collective, you know, think, you know, look at your life and identify where the darkness is in your life. You know what I mean? There is likely, if you watching this now, right, you part of this collective, you've been watching, there's likely some aspect of black magic in your background, you know? And, you know, I would say to you, you know, that this week is really telling you to get on your ma'at, right? Get on your living of truth, you know, living of truth. Because think, you know, this is one thing that I've learned is that the black magic, the spell workers and things like this, right? When they throw certain energies at you, they are trying to appeal to certain things that are your vices, right? That are your, you know, Achilles heel, right? They're trying to work things in your thoughts that are problems for you. You know what I'm saying? So this is about, you know, defeating that is about purifying your thoughts. It's about getting your thoughts in line with a truth of life. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is about, you know, alleviating yourself of fear. You know what I mean? You know, I was just talking about how, you know, when I alleviated myself of fear, I started to grow a lot more, right? Because there was a little bit of I would say, you know, I've always had an aversion to the thought of someone doing black magic on me, right? But when it happened, it was like, whoa, okay, I'm in the middle of this. And it was like, whoa, you know what I mean? It was like, you know, yeah, that's, you know, it was something that was, the thought of it was scary, right? But then as I just kind of watched things, how things would develop and, you know what I mean? I started to educate myself a little bit more. I started to understand, you know, a little bit more about the whole thing. I realized, I realized that there was nothing to fear. You know what I mean? There was nothing to fear at all. You know what I mean? And, you know, to the point where you can, you know, manifest the deities, you know, you can send this crap right back to them, right? And, you know, so, you know, I know that there's people that are reeling in the background from things that, you know, were directed at me. I know this, right? I know this. Y'all know I know this. Some of y'all know I know this. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, to y'all, I'm gonna say, hey, you should rethink it. Just rethink what you're doing, so you don't hurt yourself no further. You know, you don't want to hurt yourself no further. And I mean, you know, if you don't, you know, just how they say, read them and weep. Just keep watching. You know, you're gonna have more reason to cry. Just keep watching. Because I'm not gonna slow down. I'm not gonna get, you know, there'll be no reversal in what you see from me. So, you know, read them and weep. You know what I mean? If you choose to continue to mess around in black magic, see, you got Ma'at Tem is sitting here on the table. Do you know what that is? You are killing yourself. You're killing yourself, right? You know, Ma'at is about what you do. You know, what you do to self and others, because others are self. That's what you don't get. You know, when you understand the whole, then you understand that I say it all the time. Y'all just don't, some of y'all are stubborn, but I say it all the time. There's only one spirit walking this planet. You know, I talk to you, I'm talking to me. You know, I do to you, then I'm doing to me. You know, you do to me, you're doing to you. You know, karma is real. You know, what you put out there into the world, it's all your plate that you are building to eat. And one day you will have to eat it. You know, so why not make a good plate? You know, why not hook up some nourishment in a plate and hand it to somebody? You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be smart. You know, you're going to build good karma for yourself. You know what I mean? Because that's what this is all about. It's all about how you treat self and others. How you treat self in others. That's life. You know? Yeah, this dark to see stuff is problematic, man. You know? Not for me, though. You know what I mean? This ain't stopping me. You know what I mean? There's no fear of none of this stuff now. You know what I mean? And I say Dua Natea because you made me a certain way where, you know, I'm a soldier. You know, I might smile a lot, you know what I'm saying? I might, you know what I mean, appear soft at times. I am soft at times because you're not supposed to be hard at times, but I'm hard at times too. Because you're supposed to be hard at times. Yeah, so, you know, coming this way is a fight. You know, coming this way, you know, it's you know, ain't nothing sweet here. Even though I'm gonna smile at you, I'm gonna still give you the fire at the same time. I'm gonna laugh at you. You know, but yeah, man. Nah, man. You know, get off of the. You know, I shouldn't be receiving this at the end of Heru cycle. No, Ma'at Tem should not be coming out at the end of Heru cycle. You know what I'm saying? Unless we're talking about incorrigible people. You know what I mean? People who just don't get it. You know what I mean? Y'all are really going to have to learn. You know? Life is going to deal with you in a harsh way at some point. You know? Dark decease is on the table. So that means a trap. You know? You're trapping yourself. All right, let's talk to the I Ching. Straight. Open. Straight, open. Straight. Open stress. Straight, open stress. That's the 58th hexagram into the 10. Top line stress. That's seduction. That is people sending weird vibrations to other people in their dreams. You know, Yeah, this is, I mean, not only in your dreams, but, in 3D as well, I guess. But yeah, this is when, people are trying to use a dark magic ploy that gets people during their sleep time, you know. Sending dark magic, right, during the sleep time. That's what this is here. People are, trying to appeal to you at a time when your will is laxed, when your will is sleeping, right? Heru's domain is, daytime, right? The sun, right? We're up. You know what I'm saying? But, basically, so this is going to call for you to do certain things to protect yourself before you go to sleep. Before you go to sleep, you are, burning your sage, right? You are, putting that smoke around you, building yourself a sphere of protection, you know what I mean, for you when you sleep. You are pouring libation to your sheps, and you are imploring them to come and help you, come and protect you while you sleep. You know what I mean? Be on that this week. Be on this thing of protecting you, you know what I mean, while you sleep. There's outside elements in your sphere, and here, this is the realm of seduction, right? This is, this is going to manifest as, the thoughts that come to get you aroused, the thoughts that come to turn you on to something that will arouse you, the thoughts that are going to say, weaken yourself through, the dissipation of your life force, right? You know what I mean? Get you jacking off, get you, in your masturbating, playing with yourself, that type of stuff. You know what I mean? That's how this is going to come. Let's go to the praxis. Go to the praxis and look at this line here. Give me a second, folks. Give me a couple seconds, folks. Almost there. All right, so I'm gonna read from the beginning, right? Some of y'all been checking out my E-King stuff, so this goes right along with that. We're gonna read the judgment of hexagram 58, the tweet, right? Pardon. The 58th hexagram is composed of the doubling of Tui, emotionalism and sensuality. The hexagram provides instruction of the functions, power, and the dangers of joy. The functions, power, and dangers of joy. The hexagram, with its complement 52, holds the key to one of the ultimate goals of life on earth, the achievement of happiness, perpetual joy. Traditional Chinese medicine, with over 3,000 years of experience, has demonstrated that all emotions, stress, except joy in moderation, are harmful to one's health. Moreover, one cannot deny joy as it comprises half of the components of happiness. Happiness is a life that moves from peace to joy. Right? When you have the objects of your worldly needs, enjoy them, and when you lose them, be at peace. Furthermore, if you make the effort to enjoy the peace which can be held on to once gained, then you're always in the joy of life. This unending joy is happiness. Western medicine has documented the fact that joy has the capacity to increase the production of hormones, which are the key biomakers for health and longevity, and to stimulate all of the vital functions of the mind and the life force. right? We're talking about the hexagram of Twi, right? 58. Okay? We have created many social institutions to induce the state of joy, ceremonies, parties, entertainment, comedy, etc. Few understand that we have done this at the prompting from the urge of happiness on the side of the spirit, and the demand for the hormones or for hormones on the side of the physical body. Once the psychological and physiological effects of joy are fully understood, every effort must be made to find ways to use it as a chief stimulus for learning, behavioral transformation, and motivation for performing duties and responsibilities. Making art and joy something that teaches you and you can learn from, because that's where, having fun, right, is where we learn our best lessons, right? Edutainment, how about that? While anger and fear have motivating powers, their injurious effects on the body and mind argue against their use. Right? So that's against using fear and anger to, educate yourself, or to do, educate others, right? Or to condition others, right? Going to line 6, right? Line 6 says, many people believe that emotions and desires are beyond their ability to control. They will seek a chemical aid or simply declare their impotence as a natural state of affairs. Parentheses, I'm only human, they say in ignorance of the divine, higher, and true nature. Some people have not assumed control over their lives and are therefore likely to suffer greatly. Okay, so, he doesn't say it like I said it, he said it a little bit more scientific, right? Talking about, this thing of believing that you can't deal with it, right? You can't, I'm only human, right? That's why I have these seductive values, right? That's why these things affect me in this way and da-da-da-da-da. When you actually have the ability to put your heru on it and deal with it, you know what I mean? To see it in trance, to identify where you are having issues, right? Identify your, where you seek the gratifications, right? Where you seek the, guilty pleasures, right? Or pleasures you should be guilty about, or et cetera, right? You have the ability to correct that stuff, but you don't, because you don't believe you can, right? Life has told you, oh, I'm only human and I just got to do this. No, you're only animal. Your animal has to do that, right? We see the difference between humans and animals, right? Because animals, what? They work by season, right? When it's time for the bears to hibernate, they go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And then they wake up when the season does what it does, right? You know what I mean? When the prairie, what do we call them? Prairie rats? Not prairie rats. The, groundhogs, right? When they go under, right? They come out at a particular time in accord with what's going on with nature by, not by happenstance, but by, like they must do that. They are compelled to do that by their nature. Well, man doesn't have to do that, right? Man can, change the seasons if we want. When it comes nighttime, man doesn't have to go to sleep. It'd probably be a good thing on his health, on his physical body and, mental functions to go to sleep, but he doesn't have to. He can stay up all night. You know what I mean? Man, in other words, I'm saying man has free will. You have free will to the degree that you exercise it. If you don't exercise it, you don't have it. It's not yours. If you don't exercise your free will, then it's not yours. And you have free will to deal with your conditionings. We have free will to deal with our conditionings. So it's about, do we use it or not? Use it or lose it, right? That's what they say. Use it or lose it. Let's talk to Chu and Sherelle. See what they're talking about this line. All right, this line reads, alluring joy. The idea behind the image is that this line, a weak yin line in its proper place, is trying to draw the strong lines 4 and 5 with it on the path of worldly joy. For the more auspicious, the direction will be towards good, but the less auspicious will be seduced by their own vanity. The persons depicted here will truly exemplify the principle that like attracts like. So this is talking about appealing to your weaknesses. This is when something appeals to your weakness. Something or someone appeals to what is weak in you. And we have ma'at tem, negative intentions, insincerity, right? Dark, use of, like, this is like lack of truth. You know what I mean? Lack of truth, right? This is an individual who has ill intentions. Okay? If ma'at is, love and light, well, what is ma'at tem? It's dark intentions, all right? Dark decease, right? Dark decease is real ill intentions. Dark decease is when somebody got ill intentions on you and they, doing things to hurt you, So, this combined with alluring joy as the I Ching hexagrams is telling you that there are people out here trying to seduce you into darkness. All right? So, I heard slipping in the darkness. No, tem heru. You don't slip. You don't slip. You don't slip into darkness. You stay awake. Stay awake. To not slip into darkness. All right, let's see. Remember that like attracts like. Like attracts like. Be careful, be watchful of your thoughts, feelings, and inner affinities. That's it. That is it. All right? That is it. Be careful of your thoughts, feelings, and inner affinities. Because sometimes these ain't even going to come from you. You are psychic beings, right? You are beings that have access to omniscience. Some of y'all are super psychics and don't know it. Y'all got access to, other people's thoughts. And other people's thoughts come at you. You know what I mean? Be careful of what you think and whether or not it's your stuff. You know what I mean? As a rule, just say it's heru. If the thought comes to me to do this or to do that, no, I'm just going to say no. I'm just going to stop. You know what I mean? If the thought comes that, let me buy a beer, you know what I mean? It's heru cycle. Just no. I'm going to ignore the thought that says, let me buy a beer. You know what I mean? Or let me buy some liquor, right? That's your vice, right? Whatever your vice is, just cut it. Just apply your will to it, right? Just right now, right? This is on the thing. This is on the table for the week. So do this for the week. You know what I'm saying? Because again, if somebody knows that you have a weakness of drinking too much or smoking too much or indulging in sexual pleasures or whatever the case may be, or you have some, past trauma that, some woogly worker in your life, right, has access to, right, the understanding of, right, then they can throw these thoughts at you. They can do little things, make a little juju doll with your little effects on it and talk to it. Stuff like that, right? And you don't know that you're picking that stuff up, right? Depending on whatever your level of empathy is or whatever, right? But see, that's the thing, right? If you put a gate there, right? If there's a gate there that's set up with a mirror, now they're talking to themselves, right? So that's what you have to do, right? Learn how to protect yourself, folks. You know what I mean? It's people vying for what you got. You know what I mean? It's people vying for what's inside of you. Learn how to protect yourself. All right, let's talk to the tarot. Ace of Wands on the bottom, the world, ending cycles. That's where the deck splits. Ace of Wands in the world. Ace of Wands is what? It's woogly. Yeah, I laugh at that word because I created it. Woogly. It fits. It works. It works, man. It works. All right, Wooglies. Let's see what we got here. What does the tarot speak about our week? Talk to us, God. Donate. Okay, out pops the Knight of Swords in the upright. Okay, see, that's people that want to fight, right? The Empress is in the upside down. So you want this lady to be on the upside, right? But nah, she's on the upside down, right? So this is likely somebody who don't like you no more and wants to fight you. Somebody wants to fight you, right? Somebody has, see, we have identified the woogly workers, right? The woogly workers come from a faction of your life that is contentious, right? Somebody got a problem with you, right? And we see that this Empress is normally about love and light and, nurturing you, right? She don't like you no more. What you did to this lady, or what she think you did to her, because you ain't do nothing to her most likely. It's just the way that she thinks about it. 7 of Wands. She trying to catch you on on your sleep joint, right? She trying to catch you when you are not, when your defenses are down. Like I said, right? This individual is now hateful, right? Versus loving, right? She's hateful. And she's trying to catch you when your defenses are down, all right? Because she don't want to see you progress. Right? Woogly. Upside down woogly. Ace of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, man. So that's what's going on, folks. You got somebody in the background. You and I have someone in the background, right, who refuses to live truth. You know what I mean? Yeah, this individual refuses to live truth, and they want to fight you. They want to oppose you, right? But they don't see how they're hurting their own life with this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's there. This individual is hurting their own life. My 10 is on the table. Queen of Cups is on the bottom of the deck, right? In the reverse. Queen of Cups is on the reverse. Stop crying, honey. Stop crying, baby girl. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. You're going to get over it, all right? You're going to get over it. Stop crying. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to do that, right? 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands, right? Yeah, trying to hurt the plans, 2 of Wands, right? But, hey, people going to be what they're going to be until, life shows them that, at the end of the day, life is going to win, right? So, where do you stand? What are you devoted to? Y'all hear that? What are you devoted to? If you are devoted to the light, then the darkness can't get you. So this should give people an incentive to get on the side of light, right? Where the woogly can't reach you. Woogly is not, woogly can't reach me. You know what I mean? I can confidently tell you that woogly ain't messing with me. You know what I mean? Woogly might try, but woogly is going to go back to whatever individuals who are throwing it. You know what I mean? So if you still out there doing that goofiness, you ain't learned yet, then, what can I say to you? I can't say nothing to you. You know what I mean? That's just on you. I can pray for you. You know what I mean? But I really want you to catch your karma, to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? I think you deserve your karma because, it's all about learning out here. And there's something that you haven't learned, baby. Something that you haven't learned, yeah, but, I'm going to let God handle it. See, that's another thing, too. That's the other thing I learned is that, see, God can punch you harder than I can punch you. And God don't even want me to punch you. God wants me to just, be cool. God say, let me punch her. God say, I hit harder than you. You know what I'm saying? Once he said that, I said, all right, I got to fall back. You know what I mean? Why? Because God don't want me to throw the punch because, you don't want me to produce that negative energy. You know what I mean? You don't want me to, to take from my energy, right? The energy that you throw at me, right? He don't want me to bolster up my energy to throw darkness at you because I'm not dark. I'm not supposed to be dark. You know what I'm saying? You say, keep your energy pure. Keep your energy right. You know what I mean? Because, see, God wants to use my energy, right? And this goes on to, I'm not just talking to me, right? I'm talking to you too. You know what I mean? I'm talking to you out there, telling you, hey, you have bright light energy. You know what I mean? That if you put your head in the right place, God wants to use that. You know what I'm saying? So God don't need you doing woogly woogly. God just says, no, understand these things. Protect yourself. That's why it was affecting me in the beginning. It was, getting to me a little bit because it was about education. You know what I mean? God said, I got to show you what it is so you know what it is. I said, oh, I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? God said, I got to put you through something so that you can do something. Yeah, now I understand. I get it. I get it. So yeah, that's the same thing. Same thing with you. Any of y'all who's watching me, you know what I'm saying? Any of y'all who's watching me, it means that you're about self-mastery, right? So God is going to show you. It's going to take you through the dirt to let you see what you got to master. You know what I mean? It's going to bring you in contact with dirty people to let you see what you got to master. All right? So yeah. All right, let's talk to the astrology of the situation, right? See what the astrology of the situation is talking about. The astrological cards are talking to my collective. Kind of quiet. So far, still kind of quiet. Okay, and out pops. In the upside down, we have the 11th house, community and technology. Someone from the community. A community of individuals, perhaps. Something like this. A community of individuals, right? A family. The 4th house in the reverse, right, is on the bottom of my deck. Okay, family and home. So we're talking about families of individuals. Could be your family, could be my family. Ma'at has something to do with family. Dark deceased has something to do with family. Yeah, man. Man. Then we got the community, right? Could be that too, right? Maybe it's folks in the community that don't like you. Hey man, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. You know what I mean? None of this stuff matters though. None of this stuff matters if you are walking upright, right? You walking upright, you have the assistance of Ma'at, Heru, Herukohuti, and that's what you need. That's what you need to protect yourself out here. That's what you need to walk the correct walk out here. Ma'at is the truth. You walk in the truth, then none of this stuff affects you, and you good. All right? So I think that's it, I think that's it, you know what I mean? Watch your own conduct, right? Because this 58 goes into 10, right? 10 is conduct. So watch what you're doing out here, right? Watch yourself. Be up on your hawk. You know what I'm saying? Pardon me. Be awake out here, be awake out here, you know what I mean, such that, this stuff, doesn't get to you, all right, hey, you know what I mean, look, self-mastery is also about mastering what's around you as well, mastering how you are affected by what comes in from the outside, right, so this is mastering your emotions, mastering the feelings and things like that. You know what I mean? Yes, know that the feelings, the thoughts of whatever it is that is your vice is going to come, especially when you got people serving it to you through the inner planes in the woogly manner. I love the way I use that word. But yeah, the thoughts are going to come. The thing is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to be awake enough to deal correctly with the thoughts that come? Or are you going to just succumb to the thoughts, right? In your weakness, right? Are you just going to succumb to your weakness? You know what I mean? Don't allow these people to get to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you are Nater, come here to have experiences. All right? Peace and love, y'all. We're going to do this next time.